There we go. And welcome to the very unprofessional, professional, unofficially official Elite Dangerous live stream. Well, there we go. Right. That's enough. That's even enough bagpipes for me for now. Uh, somebody said in the chat, though, somebody said in the chat, the entire Frontier Elite 2 theme to bagpipes sounds like a challenge. I think I might take you up on that one. I'll see how much time I've got. Anything that causes Wintermute GB even more angst has got to be a good thing, right? It's got to be fun. First time chat. Cowgirl Girl says doing a pre-stream sound check is absolutely professional streamer style. Yes, so I don't do anything that's absolutely professional. Cowgirl Girl, I'm afraid. How long have I been streaming for? Probably years. It's been maybe it's close to a decade, and usually something goes wrong. Uh, Usually something goes wrong pretty quickly actually to the stream. Usually the first 30 seconds, that's pretty unusual. Usually I do manage to do it. I haven't done a pre-stream check today because I was a bit rushed and I was a bit late, and it's entirely my fault, so I can't blame anybody for that other than myself. Nobody else would take the blame anyway, and it is entirely my fault, so there we go. Never mind. Right, so um, um, I suppose we ought to do the thing, because the thing is the thing. The thing must be done. So let's go do that, because before the chat gets entirely insane, which actually already has. But anyway, I'm gonna do the thing, because we'll do it nice quick. Oh, ready? Here we go, because this is the thing that we do. Who is first in the chat? Surprisingly enough, it's Wintermute GB. So of course he is. Eric Loss is here. Crispy7070 here. Aussie G is here. Oakley Shaw is here. Commander Tragic Blue is here. Nordlander42 is here. Commander Tenebris is here. Simeon Gray is here. Montuxia is here. Andy P783, which rhymes. Commander Simon Dharmi is here. Commander Byrne is here. Frank Miner 2949 is here. D Pitman 42 is here as well. Sirius AM _7 is here. The Triplex Personalities is here. The Big Boo is here. Good to see you, Big Boo. The Ugly Spirit is here. Who else do we have? Brain Still Works, which is always encouraging at this time of day. Solstice Project is here as well, so that's good to see you as well. Who have we got? We've got lots of conversations about bagpipes, surprisingly enough. MP Tolby is here. Good to see you too. Just going down. Ninja Space Unicorn, of course. Thank you for watching, Ninja Space Unicorn. It was good to see you, and welcome back. I believe you're doing some more streaming soon, so good to see you back doing that as well, because you're very good at it. It's good fun to watch, so keep it up. Lati ___ is here. Excellent username. Who else now haven't I said? Drayden Darkstar. That's a very 80s space kind of name. I like that. I think I've got most of you now. Must be getting down the bottom here. Commander Silent Double D is here as well. Good to see you. Ugly Spirit. I think I mentioned Ugly Spirit, but anyway, good to see you as well. How are we doing? Eridan Dundragon. Eridan Dundragon is Dundragoning and is now watching the stream. It's quite good. And the first time chat, of course, from Cowgirl Girls. So welcome to you. Thank you very much for popping in. And I think that's it. No, Commander Eric Vonsa is here as well. Good to see you. Speedy R777. That's a good one as well. Thank you for popping in. Aurelian256. Montuxia. Commander Rob Sabotage. Or Sabotage, maybe. There we go. Right. Okay, at the bottom of this. That'll do. Yes. Little Graham did say, "Oh, I missed. Oh no, did I miss you? Oops." So anyway, a special mention for Little Graham, because I missed him. My apologies. Right, so Ugly Spirit says we're going to buy you some real bagpipes. Excellent. I must admit, I don't know how much real bagpipes actually are. I imagine they're pretty damned expensive, aren't they? I don't know. That's a big. Quite a good thing. I have promised to actually attempt to learn the bagpipes, but I'm told before I even attempt that, I need to learn the fingering. And you learn the bagpipes apparently on a special whistle or a flute or something, which has a special name, which somebody told me and I've already forgotten. A chinta. There we go. Frank Miner has told me what I need to know already. You learn the fingering on the chinta, which basically teaches you how to play the bit. And then I presume there's a chanter. Sorry, not a chinta. Chanter, that's right. Yeah, that makes sense. I've heard that's the word I've heard. They take a bit of wind. It might be better to buy him electric bagpipes. Electric bagpipes sound incredibly dangerous. Can you get MIDI bagpipes, I wonder? I mean, that would be... Okay. Orkney Sean says he's found a pair for 210 quid. Excellent. Big Boo says, I'm in Edinburgh week after next. I'll grab the ones off the guy outside Waverley Station. That's always making a racket. You can have them. say true, said you. I need to improve my fingering. MIDI bagpipes. Yeah. Everyone's always trying to sell their partner's bagpipes, says Gaga. I wonder why that could be. Well, I mean, I would by no means call myself a musician because I know some musicians and I'm not even in. Yeah, I am not fit to even polish their shoes. But I dabble a bit. I dabble on keyboard, as you know, and I dabble with MIDI files, as you know. And I suppose I can play a little bit by ear. That's my sort of gift, such as it is to the world. But bagpipes just intrigue me because, as you know, I'm in Scotland, so I mean, why wouldn't you have a set of bagpipes? And nobody around here, so far as I've been able to tell yet, does actually play the bagpipes. So I mean, there we go. Challenge accepted, right? Solstice Project says, "Oh my God, MIDI bagpipes exist." I just googled it. Well, there we go. I mean, how does that work? I mean, I understand MIDI keyboards and maybe MIDI guitars, but how does a MIDI bagpipe actually work? You can't play bagpipes by ear. You have to use your mouth. Thanks for that, Orkney. Oh, is my badge offset? I must knock it or something. There we go. No, that's the wrong way. It's very difficult to do things in. That can be right. There we go. Perfect. Right. MIDI.org, MIDI bagpipes. I have to look that up after the stream. So there we go. Right. So now somebody else asked me a question. Oh yeah, now the scribbling senator. I did see I got name checked in Calnet News. So I left them a cheeky comment on their YouTube video because apparently I'd threatened to write some narrative for Distant World 3, which of course we will come to Distant World 3 in due course after the waffle. I haven't pressed the waffle button, have I? Oh, I've been so remiss. This is not good. Right, before I go any further, let's press the waffle button because Wintermute will be delighted to know that I have not had the time to bagpipify my split scene things. Alas, but it is on the cards. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, stand by, my friend, stand by. I'm not sure. Is bagpipify a word? Well, it is now. Okay. Am I going to be involved in colonization? I think so. Colonization sounds like one of the most exciting features I think that's coming our way for Elite Dangerous. That really piques my interest because I was on record and I argued with Michael Brooks, and of course, as you know, anybody who argued with Michael Brooks lost by default. But I did argue with Michael Brooks in the really early days of Elite Dangerous, saying, look, Michael, this whole business about the galaxy being entirely accessible right from day one, I don't think is a good idea. To which he looked at me, didn't say anything, which is basically that was Michael Brooks's way of basically saying, you're wrong, but I'm going to give you a whole bunch of rope through so you can go hang yourself. So just keep talking and it'll eventually happen. So I said that to him and he said, yes, but tough. Because I always thought it might be nice with Elite Dangerous's galaxy map to have a sort of fog of war, i.e. we know the galaxy's out there clearly because we can see it, but we can't get there without doing things, making hyperspace routes and sort of charting things and plotting stuff, doing supply lines, all that kind of stuff. But that never happened. And as we know, now what's his? I should know his name because I've met him many times. I'm useless with names. Who's the guy who in the Gamma got to Sagittarius A? It was Commander. I can picture him. what's his name? He's sometimes on the stream actually. Anyway, he got to Sagittarius A in in the gamma before the game even launched. So one of the kind of Zulu Romeo, that's it. Yes, Commander Zulu Romeo. He'll have to forgive me for forgetting his name. My memory isn't what it was. And he got to Sagittarius A before the game launched. And so I did send a quick email to Michael Brooks just after that happened. I just said, see? To which I got no response. Yes, I am getting old. I am getting old. It's quite scary. No, it said, did anyone forget that he got the Sag A first? And he did. I mean, and genuinely, I think if I'm right, he did it in a Sidewinder. And that was right at the beginning of the game. So yeah, the route plotting mechanism only went about maybe 100 to 1,000 light years in one go. I don't think it went even to 1,000 light years. I think it was about 100 light years in one go. So basically, he eyeballed it all the way across the chart. The moment the Gamma released, which was like a pre-release, as I'm recalling now, for Elite Dangerous backers, before the main game came out. So in a Sidewinder with no route planning assistance, no AMFU, no engineering, nothing at all, Commander Zulu Romeo got to Sagittarius A before anybody else. And it's actually a damned impressive achievement, really. She never lets anybody forget. It's true, but it's still a damned impressive achievement. So really, he's never mentioned it. So yes, it was an impressive achievement. But so going back to the whole topic of colonization, I think that the idea of colonization, being able to make your mark on the game and unlock things and create new stations and all the other kind of good stuff that's maybe associated with that, sounds really, really fun. That feels to me exactly what Elite Dangerous should all be about. So yeah, so I am quite excited by that. I'm looking forward to it. I think that's going to be really, really good. So yes, so I suppose we should. And Commander Naomi, hello there, good to see you as well. Thank you for popping in. So I am very excited by that. I am genuinely pleased to see that Elite has had a bit of a renaissance in the last year. And I know I've knocked the game every so often, and I've knocked Frontier, and deservedly so at times. But it's genuinely good to see that they've got back on their feet, so it seems, as a company. And invested some time in their premier IP, Elite Dangerous. I mean, who'd have thought it? But it's good to see the game back on its feet. It's good to see a bunch of new players coming in, and maybe some of the old stalwarts like me coming back as well, because it really went through some doldrums, I think. And this time last year, like I said, we were sort of kind of, is it going to survive? Because Frontier looked like it was on the ropes, and this hadn't happened and that hadn't happened, and didn't seem to be much going on, and yet they're somehow they've conjured out of somewhere, extra dev resources and time and energy and new ships, new capabilities, and power play too, which I haven't even looked at yet. So yeah, it's good. I'm genuinely pleased. I'm genuinely happy, and that's good. So yeah, more bagpipes. So I think we've all knocked Frontier a bit, but only because we love it. Yeah, and I think that's very fair. Come on, Naomi. I mean, I think you only knock something sometimes if you care too much about it. Maybe we all cared a bit too much, and it's nice to see it not being neglected anymore. So that's good. Kazak is here as well. Good to see you. So that's good. Right. So I suppose I better talk about the other stuff before we get on to Gallus. Let's do a little bit of the community comms, because that's quite interesting as well. So here we are. Brace yourselves once more, my friends. Brace yourselves. So, of course, I think probably the big news this week was posted on Monday, which is all about in Man UK. Did you miss the bagpipes? Well, we've done them twice. We could always do them again. Which BGB commits Harry Carey in the corner. No, we won't do them again. I think twice is definitely more than enough. Again, let's leave it to you over. So no, let's not get too distracted. What do I need to brace and how much bracing? Plenty of bracing will be. I know where you live. So, yes, I suppose that's very true. Be careful. Be careful what you do, Drew. Um, yeah, so third time's the charm, of course it is. Maybe bagpipes will make a resurgence elsewhere. So yeah, so Distant Worlds 3. Now, I was able and very privileged last week to give you a little kind of heads up that Distant Worlds 3 might be on the cards. So that was very nice of the the organisers, associated with Distant Worlds 3. That Distant Worlds 3 itself was on the cards. So there's been a post on the Frontier forum. I'm sure you've all seen it, but if you haven't seen it, it's on the Frontier forums, I presume, under the Elite section, the Elite Dangerous normal chat section, all about Distant Worlds 3 and gauging, basically, at this stage, player interest in repeating it. They've been at pains to point out that, I mean, Distant Worlds 1 is literally almost 10 years ago. I think it's going to be next year. And Distant Worlds 2 is several years ago now as well. I took part in both of them, actually. And Distant Worlds 1 is actually mentioned in Premonition, I think it is, because it happened between the events of Reclamation and Premonition, the two books I wrote. And the return of the explorers from Distant Worlds 1 is the event that kicks off Premonition. So I just kind of included it in there because it was fun. Distant Worlds 3 is the first, I think. I mean, there's been other events, obviously, but the first kind of really big potential community event that there's been potentially organised in the game for quite some time, of a large scale. Now, Distant Worlds 2, I think, got picked up by big online magazines, not just the gaming press, but I think New Scientist, as I recall, New Scientist magazine actually picked up Distant Worlds 2 and wrote an article about it. So that's how much of an impact it had. Actually resonated outside of the gaming community and outside the worlds of Elite Dangerous, actually into the kind of traditional scientific press. That's how important it was. And yeah, Kazak, you're quite right. The first mass hyperjump that they performed crashed Frontier's Azure servers, which is definitely something we ought to try and do again. And I think one of my ships, at least, has got the Distant Worlds patch on it, so that's quite a nice thing to have in your kind of your kind of set of things. Basically, the organisers are looking at rerunning a Distant Worlds 3, which will have an objective somewhere out in the galaxy, a long distance haul across the galaxy, no doubt. But also, obviously, the game has changed quite a lot since Distant Worlds 1 and just even Distant Worlds 2. And as a result, they've also got a bit of a challenge, because right now, of course, you've got things like fleet carriers that can do 500 light year jumps in one hit, which didn't exist back in Distant Worlds 1 or Distant Worlds 2. So the mechanics and the construction of a game, events such as this, is going to be quite some piece of organising. There were 14,000 people, I think, in Distant Worlds 2. And it would be, I imagine it's going to be potentially similar numbers again to organise. There's going to be a lot of organising, lots of waypoints and all sorts of things. The organisers did contact me and ask me whether or not I'd be prepared to help them out with some sort of narrative stuff. We haven't really discussed what that means yet, so I can't really tell you anything about it. I do know it's going to be some way off before it starts, possibly even a year away before it actually kind of kicks off. I don't know any precise timescales, but there's plenty of work to be done prior to that, so that's quite good. Plenty of time for us to do it. One thing I'm considering doing, which will probably be news to some of you, possibly even welcome news to a very small subset of you, is I'm going to look at redoing the Elite Dangerous lore tours that I did, actually, I think now about 3 or 4 years ago, as a sort of precursor, a sort of run-up to Distant Worlds 3, when I've got some sort of details about their sort of timelines, so sort of prep the Elite community into Distant Worlds thing, because I think it's going to need quite some advertising to kind of re-energize it. It'd be a good time to go and revisit the lore and have a look at some of the stuff that's happened since I last did the lore tour. So those were very, very popular, so I'm hopefully going to go do those again as well. So and we'll discover a little bit more about all the various different bits and pieces in there. So give me a while, because it's going to take me a while to organise that myself. Yeah, 114,000 engine in Mandalays might be a bit dull, mightn't it? So yeah, so plenty of stuff to sort of come there as well, I think, to add in a few bits and pieces more. So quite exciting, because Distant Worlds 3 was effectively cancelled due to the impact of the original Odyssey launch. It was such a disaster, or debacle, or words ending in D, or beginning in D rather, at the time, that an awful lot of people were put off. What I'm hoping, though, I don't know if the organisers are doing anything particular with Frontier. They may well be doing so. I don't have any detail on that. Whether or not there's any exploration content that might be associated with that for us to go out there and find, entirely speculation on my part. But given that there's a decent chunk of time between then and when this expedition might kick off, that's an opportunity for Frontier to put weird stuff out in space, right? So you never know. It might be a resurgence of exploration activity as well. So I think it could be quite exciting, and it could be another shot in the arm for the game, which has had a few shots in the arm already. But it'd be nice to see the exploration side of the thing get some love as well. And maybe they'll update the graphics for black holes, because they're very disappointing right now. But yeah, so exciting stuff. So I'm quite enthusiastic about that, and yes, I will be involved. Two Vanity Four says, "What exactly is Distance World?" Basically, what it was previously is the way it was organised previously. It's not to say it's going to be exactly the same this time around, but there was an endpoint objective some distance away across the galaxy. In Distant World 1, I think it was the furthest reachable star, as it was then with the jump ranges that we had. But there were several waypoints along the way where people would basically rendezvous and meet up. So it's a long distance trek, basically, and the idea is that kind of you meet around campfires, as it were, on distant planets in particular places, and just hang out with people, and make your way between points at various dates. So you could either travel there really fast and hang out for a while, or you could kind of leisurely go across. But there were particular places you had to get to at certain times, and then you could meet other commanders out there and do stuff. And then Distant Worlds 2 were basically built on that, made it a bit more sophisticated, and they went to particular kind of beauty spots throughout the cosmos, so places that had amazing views or unusual stellar phenomena and various bits and pieces like that. They chose some amazing locales, by the way. So huge opportunities for fantastic screenshots and all that kind of stuff. And great camaraderie with people out there in the dark, and do stuff. So it's basically a camping trip, but in space, in spaceships. That's what it is. So that's what it's all about. So yeah, it was huge fun. It is quite a commitment. It's probably easier nowadays that quite a few of us probably have multiple saves with Elite Dangerous, so we can dedicate one save to going on the expedition, where we can still muck around in the bubble with other accounts. Back in DW1 and DW2, it was not quite so easy to do that, or at least it was a lot more expensive to do it. And there are a lot of quite cool places in the game to go and explore doing that sort of thing. So I think it will be really, really worthwhile, and I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, I will be involved in some way, shape, or form. Not quite sure exactly what that will look like, but all power to the Distant Worlds 3 crew, and stay tuned, because hopefully there'll be more information as things go on, and let's take some bagpipes with us. Why not? Right. Let's talk a little bit about Galnet before we get back into actually playing the game, because yep, let's do it. Right. Brace yourselves once more, friend, because you know what's coming. Here we go. Oh no, I pressed the wrong button. Totally professional YouTubing there, as you saw. Big Boo says, "Did you see my message earlier?" Apparently not. No. Sorry. Where was it? On here, or was it on Discord, or where? Because I haven't been on Discord today because I've been way too busy. So is this thing on? Makesha Games is raiding with a party of 4. Hello, Makesha Games. Good to see you. Thank you very much. On Discord, right? I shall log on later on. Big Boo, apologies. No, I'm a bit remiss in in looking at my comms channel. I've been very busy. I serviced my car today, and we had to put up some shelves for my wife and other stuff, and I'm moving things around. So, whilst we are here in Scotland, there's still a lot of stuff to do, if that makes sense. So I shall get there. I shall get there. But yeah, apologies for that, Big Bill. I haven't read it yet, but I will. No worries. New house time. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Right now, I need to do something. There we go. I need to press this button. Right. So how are we doing on Galnet? Okay. So I suppose the big news really this week is that if we go back a little bit there, there we go. No, not shelves in my car. Shelves in the bedroom. Oh, my Discord link still works. First time chat from Bifu66. I'm sure you're not a first time chatter, Bifu56. 66. I'm sure we've seen you before. But if I've completely got that wrong and we haven't, then hello. Right, so anti-Xeno blockade contains HIP 22460, which, if I'm remembering this correctly, is where the Thargoids detonate. No, where Salvation detonated his supposedly anti-Thargoid weapon thingamajig, isn't it? So a squadron of AX pilots have planned to sustain pressure on the lingering Thargoid presence in the HIP 22460 system. The blockade seeks to push Thargoid craft from the area from January the 12th. HIP 22. Why didn't they have a nice name? HIP 224. It's really hard to say. 22460 was the there we go. Was the staging ground for Salvation's Proteus wave weapon. the most obvious MacGuffin. This isn't going to work weapon ever seen in any sci-fi franchise at all. Which sought to end the Second Thargoid War in August 3308, but resulted in disaster. Completely unforeseen and unexpected disaster. Prior to this, it is believed to have hosted several clandestine research operations hosted by Azimuth Biochemicals and protected by the notorious Black Flight. More updates will provide the story develops. Well, we can probably guarantee what happened here because I imagine we won and kicked them out. Let's find out. Oh, it's small, this. There we go. Surprise, surprise. HIP 22460 has been declared free of Thargoids. free. Is that 3 of Thargoids or 3 of Thargoids? It's really quite difficult to say. free of Thargoids. free of Thargoids. Right, let's get that right. There we go. So, no, not Aegis. Let me get this right because Wintermeat will tell me off because we've had this discussion. He was right, I was wrong. It's Aegis. Let's get this right. Aegis. I think it should be Aegis. It sounds better to me, but facts. Damned inconvenient things, facts. Aegis has confirmed that HIP 22460 shows zero sign of Thargoid activity following a blockade organised by the AXI and XSF and the TLA's forces. It is theorised that Thargoids have maintained a varying presence in the system since at least 3303 due to reports recovered by the now abandoned Fort Asch laboratory. After the Proteus wave weapon in the system in 3308, the Thargoids aggressively swarmed the system until recently. I must admit that was quite well done in game because when you went there, you just basically got mugged, didn't you? Takes ages to get good at this pronunciation. It does. That's very good. But AX forces sought to change this over the past few weeks, and the signal from Aegis military advisor Aidan Tanner indicates the system is now fully under human control. Tanner himself provided a message of thanks. The impeccable efforts of AXI, XSF, and Allied X. too many acronyms, please. FSD, SCO, GTI, TLD, TTFN, BSC, SSC. Right. Finally brought peace to one more system. Excellent. I only wish I was young enough to join these heroes out on the front lines. LOL. Absolutely. Right. So, and these pilots have provided great service to humanity, and all here at Aegis salute them. Good for them. WTF. Yes. Oh dear, that's enough. That's enough acronyms for one night. Right, and then the last one is just some power play stuff. Okay, so presumably this is the new power play, which we ought to have a look at some point, because I was PB, Mr. Tracy. I was I think my VOD for this is somewhere online, isn't it? I was quite underwhelmed, shall we say, by Power Play 1.0 when I tried it. But yeah, so maybe the new one is funky. So that's good. Now we could, I suppose. Now I've got a choice because I've got a number of accounts running Elite Dangerous at the moment. I've got one that's my exploration account, which is out near Sagittarius A star at the moment. In fact, I think it's in Sagittarius A star at the moment. We did last week muck about a little bit with my new Type 8, which was quite good fun. Doing some population stuff. We could muck about with that a little bit. I'm wondering whether or not it might be worth visiting the HIP 260 system. Or it might maybe chill out and do a little bit of exploration. I've been told there's an explorer's outpost at Sagittarius A star, but I must admit I didn't spot it when I was out there, so I'm quite keen to go and see that actually. So what do we fancy? Do we fancy going to visit Explorer's Anchorage? Yeah. Do we fancy going to visit Explorer's Anchorage, or go and have a look at what's left at 22460? I mean, we could probably do both, couldn't we? Let's go and see the wreckage, see what's left. There's a station. Yeah. So Commander, I'd like to know where that is. So maybe we'll go and do both. Let's go and visit the Thargoid ruin now. And there's a blockade debris field. Let's go and have a look. So I'm going to fire up my elite, and we'll go and have a look at that. I need to log in. Now, which account am I using? What's my password? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. I've got the same combination on my luggage. Okay, so Stymie something. That's where Explorer's Anchorage is. Okay, well we'll look that up and we'll go and have a look at that in a bit. Let's go and visit the Thargoids for a time. So I suppose the big question for us all is where are will the Thargoids be back? Because we haven't really beaten them. We've taken out their maelstroms, haven't we? Their titans. And they've sort of retreated, but I wouldn't say we've beaten them. So yeah, I think the narrative door is open there for Thargoids Part 3, I suspect. So anyway, let's go and have a look. So if you want to join me in game, it is the Drew Wagar private group, unsurprisingly. If you're not a member of that, you can ask to be a member of it. Now at the moment I've only got my Type 9. That's probably not going to be the best ship, is it? I might have to go back and get my other ship. Going to do any power play. Oh, the vending machines, yes, that was what features the vending machines change. Right, I'm just waiting for my Elite Dangerous Odyssey to connect to the Frontier servers. There we go. Drew Wagar private good. We're doing all right actually. The Drew Wagar private good has now got 2,009 people in it. No, 2019, which is pretty good going actually for a private group. One of the bigger ones that I'm in. Yeah, so it's interesting that the original Thargoid War was basically ended by us giving them a nasty polymorphic virus, which basically destroyed both their ships and their flesh, which was pretty mean. Yes, genocidal kind of thing to do to an alien species. And then they come back to the second Thargoid War, and then we've defeated them by finding ways of overheating their ships effectively. So yeah. So yeah, quite quite interesting. Right, so apparently I am on foot. Hang on a minute. Let me get my I need to press the button. Hang on, brace yourselves because we need to swap over to the actual game. Here we go. Ready? Yeah, I think you're entirely correct there, Kazak, that we haven't seen the last of the Thargoids. I can't imagine that would be there. Now, I seem to be... Where am I? I am in a station, so... I need to go back to... Ah, yes, my ship, the maple syrup. Let's get back into there. Junk. Yeah, so... This is my new ship, but I haven't really done much of this, so it's pretty rubbish. Did I get the hat? No, I haven't logged on and attempted to get the hat in game yet. I need to do that. Right, is the access point at the back or the front? I think I've walked down the wrong end of the ship, haven't I? Yeah, I haven't tried the ship much before, so I'm going to fly the ship back to wherever it is my normal ships are, because I want something that is a bit better suited to going to visit funny places. Right, so I've got a team invitation. Yay! Sort that out first. I've got some pending friend requests. Let's sort that out. And team. Oh, I had a team. Oh, I did. Oh well. Never mind. Happy New 3311 and greetings from Clonia Drew. Oh, so I should say hello to that. That's nice. Right. Oh, there we go. It's back again. Commander Tekaron and team. There we go. Right. Okay. So let us. Where are my actual decent ships? Are they at Shinatra? Which ship? I've got a storage ship at Shinatra Deja. Which one? How do I tell which ship it is? My fleet. Ah, there we go. So my cutter is at Eulexia. Carl Sagan's at Eulexia. Robert Holdsock. Oh, my Python Mark. My Python Mark II is at Shinatra Deja. Where is? How far away is HIP? 22460. Let's just find out how far away it is, because if it's a massive distance, it's quite a long way out, isn't it? Well, not. Okay, it's 14 jumps in this ship, so that's rubbish. How far is Eurydice in my home system? I really want my... No, that's not what I said. Eulexia. Okay, so that's not very far away. Let's go there. That's only 3 jumps. So I'll go back to Eulexia. I'm going back to my Eulexia system so I can pick up my long-range ship. The Carl Sagan is a science vessel. Yes, it is. Yes, so we'll take the Carl Sagan out. That hasn't been out for yonks. That will probably be my Distant World 3 ship. So let's go to pick up the Carl Sagan. Tegron says, welcome back. Thank you very much, Tegron. Let's take this. This is my old barge. I type 8, which we've only used once. So it's not really sorted out properly yet. In fact, if I say it's not been sorted out at all,
you are go for departure.
That is much more accurate.
Landing gear retracted.
It's a really sluggish old thing. It's really just a freighter, isn't it? Do I need a carrier jump? Oh, I haven't done the carrier jump for a while. Well, the Carl Sagan is an exploration ship which should be somewhere near 70 light years jump. So by the time we get the carrier ready to go, I think I would have made it. This ship, however. Do you know what this one reminds me of a little bit? Who remembers Who remembers Blake 7? Not the first 3 seasons, but the last one.
Clear of the exclusion
This will be
zone. You're clear to
UK specific,
resume
I'm afraid. I
navigation.
don't think many people outside the UK will have heard of Blake 7. But what was the name of the ship in the last season of Blake 7? Not the Liberators, the other one. Scorpio, yeah. So this, I tell you what, this Type 8 reminds me of the Scorpio bit. It's sort of rubbish, but it'll do. I actually rather like the design of this one because it's got that lovely industrial sort of vibe, and it's a bit Nostromo from Aliens, isn't it? It's that sort of kind of vibe to it.
Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charged.
Avon coffee. I did like Avon. Oops, I've just cooked it. Never mind. I'll fix it when we get there. I'm so used to be able to get out of the exclusion so fast. Scorpio, yeah, you're quite right actually. Scorpio does look kind of like a vet. Yeah. We need a Liberator ship in Elite, that would be good. Yeah. Doctor Introversion says, the Type 8 reminds me of the Vulture from Star System at the cockpit view. Yeah, I suppose it's it's inevitable that it's going to be a little bit of crossover of designs because everyone's inspired by the same stuff, aren't they? There we go, we're not too far away from the Legacy. So let me go and pick up. Let's take out the Carl Sagan because I haven't taken out the Carl Sagan for a while. Blake 7 was equally daft and dark. That's another. That is another series I think could really do with its. You know, like they did with the original series of Star Trek. They sort of remastered it and put in funky new, slightly improved CGI effects of the Enterprise for the external shots. I think Blake 7 could really benefit from that as well. I mean, imagine a decent CGI version of Blake 7 with the rest of it sort of properly restored. I mean, you'd never be able to get away from the we're going to have to run around in quarries in Wales because that's the only alien location we've got in the UK. But you could at least improve the exterior CGI aspects of it, maybe with the
fuel scooping.
Yeah, the spaceship battles and stuff. So that would be cool. Right, now where is my... Somewhere in here is my space station, which I've lost. Where is it? They wiped out my space station. No, don't say they've done that. Where is it? They're Mad J Wakers, there we go. Let's see if I can land this thing. Pick up the Carl Sagan instead. So, wasn't the last episode really bad? Well, it was very dark and it was unexpected. Because, I mean, spoilers for something that is early 80s when it ended. Everyone dies. Which, and what was nice about Blake 7 was, you know, for the 80s, it was quite interesting storytelling because it was unlike Star Trek, which was very utopian, of course, you know, and the Federation had its ideals and its General Order No. 1 and Prime Directives, and everything was shiny and bright. And Blake 7 wasn't that at all. Basically, the crew was totally dysfunctional in Blake 7. They only came together because they had a shared interest. And they didn't get on. They argued and they plotted against each other, and you know, it was very anarchic, really. So it did have something going for it in its storytelling. The stories are pretty good. The special effects were, I mean, you know, late 70s British television cheap. You know, they were pretty disastrous even back then. Nowadays they look decidedly ropey. But if you can look past that, there is some decent storytelling in there.
Recon Delta Romeo Echo. A landing pad has been reserved for your arrival. The Alliance welcomes you, Commander.
I think by now, actually, I should have a damn red carpet coming in my space station. But hey, you can only get so much.
Access granted. Make your way to landing pad 2-3.
So, yeah, Scorpio is very like the Corvette. You're right. But it's that sort of... well, I get that sort of... The ship is very kind of... It'll do. You know, no frills. That's what I like about these type of ships. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy was... it was around the same time, wasn't it? Classic sci-fi.
Allow for increased traffic flow in the sector. Please reduce your speed, Commander.
Where is it? Traffic, is that? Get down. Pan 23. Where is Pan 23?
Landing gear deployed.
There it is, right here. Right, so let's get that. We'll pick up the Carl Sagan, because Carl Sagan is my... I think it's a Crate Phantom, from what I remember. What was the Federation female village called? Female village? I think you mean villain. Don't think there are any female villages. I'm not even sure there's such a thing as a female village, but who knows? It's not safe to assume anything nowadays. Completely cock that up. Put the ship into reverse. Oh no, put the camera on. Could do that. There we go. Down, 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 boy, down. That'll do. Any landing you can walk away from is a good landing.
Contact. Clear to offload. Welcome to our starport, Commander.
Lakes haven't had a brief showing on Outlander, did it? Okay, so it was kind of reduced to American audiences. I mean, you have to be a pretty big 80s fan to even bother watching it. In fact, it's probably even 70s, isn't it, really, Blake? So, no man is an island, but some women are villages. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. Abraham Lincoln. Right, okay. Starport services. Right, I need to get my other ship. So I have, on this account, I have named my ships after, well, at least some of my ships, after important people. So my original Cobra Mark III is named after Robert Holstock, which I hope doesn't need any introduction to any of you. If there's anybody on the stream who doesn't know who Robert Holstock is, I will tell you. Carl Sagan, likewise, should not need any introduction either. But if anybody is not aware who Carl Sagan is, I will also explain. Yeah, there is a theme to that one. It is Canadian looking, isn't it? That's because I'm Canadian. Just in case anybody didn't know. So there we go. But I'm going to use my my Crate Phantom. This is my exploration ship. Which account am I using? I'm currently I assume I'm Commander Drew Wagar. Pretty sure I'm Commander Drew Wagar. Yes, Commander Drew Wagar. That's me. So you should be able to spot me in there easily enough. Right. So we are now going to go to HIP 22460. Go and have a look. Right, so it should be a reasonable, easy ride in this ship. Only 7 jumps, you see, because this is a proper spaceship. Solstice Project says, I did not know who Holstock is. I knew Carl Sagan. Carl Sagan, well, I mean, we've got 7 jumps. I'm sure I can do Carl Sagan and Robert Holstock justice in 7 jumps. So starting with Robert Holstock then. Robert Holstock is the guy who wrote the original Dark Wheel novella that came with the original Elite back in 1980. So in many ways, he also less well known that Robert Holstock also wrote most of the manuals for the original Elite as well. So not all some of the press R to open up the thingy-majig or press 1 to launch, not that sort of stuff, but some of the lore stuff and background of the ships and some of the systems and some of the history behind the weapons and some of the ship's information that is in the original manual was also written by Robert Holstock as well. So not only did he write the Dark Wheel, which is the novella that comes with the game, but he also had quite a lot of contents of the manual as well. Yeah, and to actually take her on in the game, they were saying it's very hard to get his books and manuals nowadays. So actually, Robert Holstock was one of those interesting writers, because back in the early 80s, he was quite, he was a relatively new writer, getting started, and apparently he'd been approached by the software house that published Elite. Come on, Drew, with your memory. Acornsoft, what am I talking about? Acornsoft, to they had approached a writer whose name escapes me about, would you consider writing a novella for this game that we've got? And basically, this writer went, shh, I'm way too important to write some piffly novella for a computer game. Who do they think I am? And he turned it down. And but he knew Robert. He basically said, "No, I'm too important for this." But it sounds like the sort of gig that you might like. I suggest you take him up on it. And so Robert Holstock got introduced to Acornsoft and ended up writing The Dark Wheel as a result of that conversation. So fortuitous for us, really, because Robert Holstock already was actually and continued to be an excellent writer. Sadly, he's no longer with us either. But he has a great series of very in-depth fantasy series. So if you look up Robert Holstock, you'll come across the Thargoid Woods saga, and very much worth a read if you're into slightly whimsical fantasy. It's not high fantasy like Lord of the Rings. It's very hard to describe actually. It's definitely worth a read. So go and find that if you're interested at all in anything else that Robert Holstock wrote. But of course, we have Robert Holstock to thank for. Game is too loud. Let me sort that out. We have Robert Holstock to thank for Raxler, The Dark Wheel, pretty much all the cool stuff that sits in the in the source of Elite Dangerous. So quite interesting. Commander Thompson, there is a bench dedicated to him by his family in the country park in Norfolk. Yes, there is. I've actually been there. I've actually got a picture of me sitting on the bench somewhere, holding a picture, holding a copy of my book and holding a copy of his book simultaneously. So I did go and do a little homage. It's quite a walk actually, from the nearest car park, and it is. It's definitely worth it. If you're in Kent, then it's worth going to see if you can go and find Robert Holstock's memorial bench. It doesn't, from what I remember, it doesn't mention Elite, but it was definitely put there by his family, and I actually did speak to their family briefly a few years ago, and they were very pleased that I'd made the homage. So that was quite good. Oh, hello there, Mr. Warpath is raiding with a party of 73. Good to see you, Mr. Warpath and team. Thank you very much for the raid. Appreciate that. God, this is 2 raids I've had this evening, so. I'm doing very, very well indeed. So welcome to you all. We are, as you can probably tell, playing some Elite Dangerous. We are currently going to investigate what is left of the Thargoids. So we'll go and see. D-Mad Dog, hello, good to see you. First time chat from Sierra Hotel, hello to see you as well. First time chat from Siren, first time chat from Rurteptasham Sizu. I hope I've done that pronunciation of that right. And first time chat from Mr. Warpath. Thank you very much, Mr. Warpath. I appreciate that. It's really nice to see some new faces in here as well. So it's always good to see some new. I hope you're all, I assume, and I hope at least you've got some passing familiarity with Elite Dangerous, and you're interested in seeing what's going on. So there we go. But yeah, fantastic. Well, thank you very much for the record. That's also good. Yeah. So. And we are saving up to get some bagpipes, an explanation for which will not be coming anytime soon. Right, so that was anyway. That was Robert Holstock. Now, this particular ship of mine, as I've already mentioned, is called the Carl Sagan. Now, if you haven't heard of Carl Sagan, I'm frankly pretty bemused because if you're into space games and you're into flying your spaceships around a semi-realistic galaxy, and you haven't heard of Carl Sagan, I'm frankly totally astonished. But if you don't know who Carl Sagan was a very preeminent astronomer, physicist and lecturer at, I think it was Caltech, using, but somebody might correct me. Or is it, I'm not sure if it's Caltech. But he wrote some amazing books. So probably his most famous work is a book and a TV series called Cosmos, which was broadcast in the 80s again. He wrote lots and lots of books, popularizing astronomy, science in general, I guess. And he did have also a fiction book called Contact, which was turned into a film with Jodie something, can't remember her surname, excellent actress. Jodie Foster, that's right. So that was very good. And probably the person who did most for popularizing astronomy and science worldwide that there possibly has ever been. I mean, today we've got people like Brian Cox and Neil deGrasse Tyson, who are fantastic people. But Carl Sagan is at least in my mind is bigger than them. And so he's very famous for the pale blue dot. But to understand what the pale blue dot is, you have to go back to the 70s, because he was instrumental and worked with the team that launched the 2 Voyager probes, one of which you can find in Elite Dangerous, of course. He arranged to have the golden record put on the side of the Voyager spaceships, the one that contains greetings from Earth, sounds and information about the Earth, put on the side of the Voyager record in an attempt to sort of mark our place in the universe, so that if an alien presence ever picks up one of the Voyager spacecraft, they'll have something on it that basically points their way back to Earth and our stuff. So he was instrumental in doing that as well. He also persuaded the NASA control to rotate the Voyager 2, I think it was. I might be wrong there, but spacecraft, so it could take one final picture of the solar system from its hugely deep space perspective. And one of the shots it took was a picture of the Earth from many millions and millions of miles away, which was literally a single pixel at that distance, and it was pale blue. And Carl Sagan waxed lyrical about the fact that everything that's ever happened, everything that ever will happen probably, and everything that anybody who's ever argued about ever is that single pixel, that pale blue dot. And it makes humanity's accomplishments dwarf into insignificance at the scale of the universe. Carl Sagan was a luminary, I think. And now I was very, very lucky. I've been one of those people who when they say never meet your heroes. Well, I've been fortunate to have met all of mine, and by and large they've turned out pretty well. I met Carl Sagan. I was only 7 at the time, but I met him, and I met him at the Christmas lectures in London, and he was giving a talk on the planets, and I was in the audience for the first episode, and I think I managed to ask. I was so overwhelmed at the age of 7. But his lecture actually, inspired my love of space and science. So I can kind of thank Carl Sagan for lighting that flame personally for me, which was pretty cool. I also met Patrick Moore, and I got to play his xylophone, which is pretty cool. Not many people could say that. I actually played a little mini duet with him on the piano, because he was quite old by the time I met him, 80 something, and I met him at his house due to an astronomy event, and we were invited in to give a bit of a tour, and when he heard that I could play the piano, he got out his xylophone and we did a little gig. I mean, how cool was that? That was fun. So that was good, and some of you will know with Elite Dangerous, of course, I met David Braben, the person who wrote Elite along with Ian Bell back in the 80s, and obviously behind Frontier and Elite Dangerous. So so I've met all my heroes, and they've all turned out okay. So I'm not sure if I subscribe to that particular piece of wisdom, but there we go. And I did appear on Top Gear as well. Yes, I've been on Top Gear, so I've done some stuff which has been quite good. So that's all good fun. But yeah, Carl Sagan I would probably rate number 1, because if you watch any of his content, if you read any of his books, he's just got this lovely cadence to his voice and his ability to cut to the chase and basically say, enthuse about how science is the way forward for humanity. Brian Cox, I've noticed, has sort of been picking up that mantle a little bit over here in the UK, which is good to see. But Carl Sagan really, you just watch his stuff and you're just inspired to be a better human being, I think. So if you haven't read any of his books, or you haven't watched any of Carl Sagan's material on YouTube, I think there's a YouTube channel somewhere that plays Cosmos constantly online or something like that. So you can probably find it on YouTube somewhere. But yeah, check out some Carl Sagan content and just immerse yourself in the wonderness that is his voice and his way of explaining things. I think it's mesmerizing. It's still enchanting to me even today. The famous Drew Wagar, not to be confused with the other Drew Wagar. You mean, yeah? No, actually, the other Drew Wagar got murdered. I think I've told you that story. There can only be one, you see. Years and years and years ago, when I used to work for a company called Lloyd's of London, which Wintermute GB is intimately familiar with, and plenty of anecdotes to come about Lloyd's, which I could go into, but I won't. I once went on holiday, and left the company behind, and went to America. And when I got back, Lloyd's, there was a bit of a kerfuffle when I arrived, and they said, "Oh, thank God you're not dead." I said, "Pardon?" Because apparently a Drew Wagar in America had been murdered. I was out there, and that's the only other Drew Wagar I've ever encountered. I didn't meet this person, unfortunately for them. Unfortunately, kind of should I say? I didn't meet them. I had nothing to do with the murder. I should say, just for the record. But yeah, whilst I was out in America, another Drew Wagar, and that's two relatively unusual names side by side. There aren't many other Drew Wagars in the entire world. One was murdered, and this newspaper article had been picked up by people I knew back in Lloyd's. So when I got back, they were like, "Oh, so you didn't get killed then?" Like, how unlucky could it be that I went out there and the Drew Wagar, maybe it's some sort of weird quantum space tunneling that there can only be one of me in a certain radius or something. I don't know. So it was very unfortunate. Fortunately, I was the one that survived. So as far as I know at the moment, I am the only Drew Wagar, which is probably, many of you would say, an extremely good thing indeed for the entirety of the universe. So there we go. But yeah, so getting off the topic, but Carl Sagan, fantastic chap, taken from us too soon. He was only in the 60s, I think, when he died. Taken from us far too soon. Huge contributor to science. Something that I really, there aren't that many people I really go and think, I wish I was like that. I could, but that there's a person who's an awfully lot better, more successful, just generally better, in every measurable way than me. Carl Sagan, definitely up there. Right, we are now at the boundary, HIP 22460. Let's jump into the system and see what's going on. So yes, maybe I'm not the real Drew. Yeah. It's the butterfly effect. It was my fault. Yes, it could well have been. Maybe I'm. Oh yeah, and Dr. Hawking. Dr. Hawking did a huge amount of stuff as well. I didn't get to meet Dr. Hawking, I must admit. He was quite a bit of a rogue, apparently, by all accounts. I've got his autobiography, and that's quite an interesting read. Right, so here we are in the system, and there's none of that weird Thargoidy interference-y stuff going on, is there? 67 bodies in the system. Wow. Presumably lots of dead bodies. I worked with someone who met him and didn't know who he was.
Fuel scooping.
Oh, Mensky got hyperdicted on the way in, so I've had no impact from the Thargoid at all. Right, so where's this affected planet? Oh, there's huge debris field. Oh, there's huge debris fields everywhere. Large debris field, or huge debris field. Number 1. Let's go and investigate. See what's there, shall we? There is an abandoned settlement. Oh, is there? Okay, I want to head for 10B. Okay, we'll go there in a minute. Dr. Hawking was the only person to play himself on Star Trek Next Generation. That was a good episode, wasn't it? I did enjoy that. It's always quite fun seeing those sort of things. Turn on the SCO drive and you can see the glitching. I don't think I've got a SCO drive on this ship. No, I haven't. So 10B is where the Proteus wave was. Okay, so we definitely need to investigate that. Massive debris field. But that would be MDF. Dear, someone's got the same sense of humour as me. Very worrying indeed. Mostly for you, rather than me, but very worrying indeed. Alright, there's a huge debris field around this planet. So what were the Thargoids doing here? That's what we want to know. Are there going to be any answers? Are there some logs and things in here? Maybe there are. Let's see what we can find. I suppose you also got people like Brian May from Queen, haven't you? He's quite good at astronomy. And who's the comedian guy? Oh, Irish chap. Oh, names. Oh, and the Big Bang Theory. That's right. Sheldon's a big fan, isn't he? Dara Ó Briain, that's right. Yeah, Dara Ó Briain. He's a good popularizer of science. But yeah, in my head, all good people, but not at the same level as Carl Sagan. Carl Sagan is like demigod level. Alright, so huge debris fields. Whoa, okay, so yeah. Okay, there's definitely some stuff here. Command Silent D. Davis is out there. So is there anything? Yeah, there's a lot of debris here. Well, this is nicely done, isn't it? So this is bits of Thargoids. So can we do anything with this stuff? Or is it just debris? It's nicely done though, isn't it? Thargoids was here. Oh, look at it. I love the way you could see the... So what detail have we got in there? Let's see how close we can get without honking our ship. Look at the it's all organic-y stuff in there, isn't there? Because of course we've never seen a Thargoid in the flesh, really, other than kind of that. I mean, the ships are really organic, aren't they? It's a nice effect. I like what they've done there. And there is a lot of debris. It's just shattered Thargoid stuff, isn't it? And some bits of human ships by the look of it. Some of that is Thargoid, some of that definitely isn't. That is the remains of something human, I would guess. Not quite sure which ship it is, but... And then more Thargoid bits. Maybe an asp or something. It's nicely done, isn't it? Very nicely done. This one's rotating quite slowly, so maybe we can get a little peer. You find my wallet in there. Can we do any science on this? Because I've got a data link scanner. So you want to be able to, I don't know, autopsy them or something. Doesn't seem to do anything. Don't think it's allowing me to do. says out of range, so I can't lock on to it as a thing. There doesn't seem to be anything actually on the scanner that I can scan. It's just if there's something at the debris field, some of them have stuff. Okay, so it's on the target. All right, let's get it on there. No, there's nothing there at all other than the people who are here. So it's a pretty debris field. It's nice. It's nice that it's there. It's Commander Minsky. Quite atmospheric. I like debris fields. I'm going to lament something here because it's I haven't lamented it for a while. And it's time to lament things that haven't happened. Now, if Frontier can do this, like a massive debris field, right? Why can't they make let's say a large spaceship graveyard? I mean, it's got to be within the bounds of possibility, right? Somebody can make that happen for me. But they haven't. Why haven't they? Why haven't they done it? They promised they would, and they let me down. I'm referring, of course, tangentially and not very subtly, to the Tyranids orbital graveyard, which is a key part of the lore, which is missing in Elite Dangerous.
Cannot comply.
Oh.
Frameshift drive charging.
There we go. First time chat from Corrigan. So Thargoids are crabs and crabs. Yeah, well, we don't know a vast amount about the Thargoids. We know they're insectoid-like, and that they are at home in ammonia atmospheres. There are some descriptions that they have 6 legs and 2 arms, and that they are all female, and they have like a hive structure with some sort of telepathy. But we've never seen one officially in the game, to my knowledge, and precisely what they're about and what they're trying to do, nobody's entirely sure. There are a lot of debris fields out here. So 10B is the one I wanted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10B is presumably that one. Orkney Sean, I'm not sure, my friend, that you have to get out of the way saying things like that nowadays. Do they taste like chicken? Possibly. Oh, and they're missing their fear glands. That's right. Yes. Vitae Mecha, partial to the 1984 descriptions. Yes, I like that was some good description. Again, Robert Holstock's thing. Did the Thargoids eat all the poets? That's quite possible. I think I'm heading towards 10B now. Mad Dog, Drew, do you have any books you're working on? I am working on some books, yes. So I am in the midst of revitalising my writing stuff at the moment. And I will be getting some more books out this year. So, yes, I'm working on a standalone Shadewood novel called Mobilis at the moment. I will be looking at the second book in my Hagara saga, which is sort of space opera elite-y kind of stuff, but not in the same universe, obviously. And I'm also going to be exploring probably the background lore and some plans for another Lords of Midnight book. So plenty to be getting on with. I've got hopefully some reasonably ambitious plans for my writing this year. Fingers crossed. Yeah, so if the lore isn't in the game, it's no longer canon. I think that's kind of fair, really. If you can't find it in the game, it doesn't really exist. First time chat from Arnold Sideways. Who else is disappointed real astronomers don't use the elite planet numbering system? Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad system, actually. There were some presentations about how the elite galaxy was put together, which were at the Frontier Expo back in 2017, and some very clever logic as to how the galaxy was divided up. that way. So yeah, some really, really good stuff. So yeah, some space opera stuff is coming. Last year I did get my old original elite space opera working as well. Right, there's the blockade debris. So we're going to have a look at that. Where's that? I lost it. There it is. Let's go to the blockade because there you can see the glowy thing on the surface. Now is that a landable planet or is that not a landable planet? I assume it's not a landable planet because it would be way too cool to be able to go and look at that thing up close, right? It's not landable. I didn't think it would be. Alright, so this is the blockade debris. Let's go and have a look here. Oh, it's just permit locked. Okay. Do you have time to work on your Starship Simulator stuff? Yes, that's in the list as well. So I was a Kickstarter backer for Starship Simulator, and I will be contributing, I believe, an alien race and associated lore into Starship Simulator as well. So it's going to be a good year for creative stuff. Okay, so this is the blockade debris. I think we should probably be slowing down here, Drew, rather quickly. Emergency brakes. You put with an exploration ship, it's a little bit light on the thrusters. Yes, this is very similar to what we just saw, isn't it? Lots of debris from the blockade, but lots of whatever the green smoke that Thargoids give off is still kind of kicking them out, but it doesn't seem to be causing any damage anymore, which is good. Ooh, I think we might be having a collision. Donk. Oh, it's not lethal. It's quite good. Look at that. I mean, that's nicely done. I mean, it's all very organic, isn't it? Debris of Thargoid ships. And we must be able to learn something from that wreckage about Thargoids and stuff. There's still no stuff for me to pick up there, but so there's so interesting enough, the Proteus wave site is still glowing, so it's still doing some stuff. Yeah, it's going to be a busy year for me. Yeah, I've got lots of plans. Well, the beauty is that because I'm now up in Scotland, and that has the result of effectively downsizing. We've actually upsized the size of our house, but downsized the value of our house because we've moved so much further north. That means, from a kind of personal financial perspective, I don't have a mortgage anymore, which means. Which is a good thing. I don't have, my outgoings are much lower than they were, which means I can afford to work less and spend more time doing creative projects. So 2025 is a good year from that perspective.
Orbital flight engaged.
Right, so we can do that. So it's very cool looking. But presumably we'll just drop out. It will chuck us out in a moment. Unknown hazardous environment detected. Access restricted. Well, at least there's kind of a core reason. So yes, it's not allowing us to get any closer than 100. Oh no, it's actually, we're still going down according to the altitude monitor. What happens if we try and manually fly down? It's always worth trying, isn't it? So yes, it's a good feeling not to have to keep paying out monthly stuff. I mean, I'm quite old now, so I've done my time, I feel. What do I do when I'm not writing or piloting starships? Well, my career is I am and was a cybersecurity expert. That's what I do as a day job, or did. Volcanic layers are affordable, yes. So I am close. Actually, I don't think we're now. Well, that's 103 kilometers. I don't think we're going down anymore now, are we? So it's obviously it's got an invisible wall. Don't go to the light. The proto molecule on Venus, yeah, it has got that sort of expanse vibe to it, hasn't it? But it's pretty cool. You've got associates in computer science and got my network plus cert last year. Oh, congratulations. That's good. That's good. I spent half an hour trying. 100 kilometers directly above is as close as you can get, so don't waste your time. Okay, so that's about as close as we're going to get. It's a nice effect, isn't it? It does look cool. I wonder why it's still active though. It's interesting that it's still kind of spewing out energy. You'd have thought it might have evaporated as a result of the Thargoids being removed. So that's quite cool. So is there anything else in this system that's worth us having a peek at while we're here? Are the debris fields? I was kind of hoping there might be some logs. Maybe there are, but destroyed capital ships. Oh, I don't mind. I don't mind a good destroyed capital ship. So how do I get to? Okay, so where do I go? What about this one? The Audacious Dream, is that one? Planet 7C. Okay, I'm gonna have to count them because I haven't scanned the planet. Okay, cool. Let's go have a look at those then. 7C.
Frameshift drive charging.
Oh, an Imperial cap ship. Whoa!
4, 3.
Oh, Salvation ship is not bit of this bad. So that was one of the. Let's go and see the Imperial cap ship though, because that's just we're. I've been known to be a bit of an Imperial person. Senator Drew and all that. So yeah, we should pay our respects. If the Empire's lost a ship. Yes, I should really have the old SCO drive here, shouldn't I? It'd be perfect for this. I'm just going to do it manually. The old way. Get the ship out of orbit. There we go. There's the old Carl Sagan. That's quite nice. Like you can see the Proteus wave disappearing there in the distance. What's Druglet obliterated? Oh, is it still active? Okay. I like the I always liked the Empire in Elite Dangerous because it was very different to any other society that we've got on Earth at the moment. I mean, the Federation is basically the United States, but in space. Because, I mean, we can go into the lore tour again, I've mentioned it before, but effectively there was World War III on Earth in the Elite Dangerous timeline, and America was the only political organisation, the only country really that survived that cataclysm. Everything else didn't, basically. Not Australia, not Europe, not the United Kingdom, not Russia, nothing. The United States was the only government that survived World War III, and as a result became the Federation. And then when it moved out to space, that was it. We all became Americans. Perish the thought, but spoken as a true Canadian there. But yeah, that's what happened in the Elite Dangerous timeline. All humans were Americans for a while, and then of course the Empire split off from the Federation, much to the Federation's annoyance. Quite early on, about 200-300 years after the World War III. And then the Alliance was much later. That didn't happen to about 1,000 years later. So they're the jolly come latelys of the Elite Dangerous universe. Right, so this is 7C. What am I looking for here? Commander Aussie, I can see. I can see the planet. What else have we got? Which ship am I looking for? Fort Asch, somebody said. So where is... There's a small debris. FNS Variant Scott. It's showing up on my... should be higher than that, shouldn't it? What am I looking for? Oh, it's a land base, is it? Ooh, on the planet's surface. Nice. Okay, let's go and have a look down there. Oh, I've lost the planet entirely. I can't see anything. It's too dark. Right, so 7. Okay, so the audacious dream is the Imperial capture. Is that not where I'm supposed to be going? So where is it? That's the planet itself, which is currently behind me. So there's a planet which I can't see. How do I find what's on the surface then? I don't see any markers here. Do I need to scan it? So hang on, I'm confused now. So are we looking for something on the surface or?
Surface scan complete.
Oh, my wing is scanning. Ah, brilliant. Thanks, guys. So I'm only seeing. Oh, I need to map it, do I? Oh, it's going to be navigation. Oh, got how this game works, haven't I? There we go. Got it. Thanks, guys. No, I appreciate the mapping there. Right. Oh, it's on the other side of the planet. Oh, it's on the other side of the planet. Looks like it's going to be in darkness, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame. Yeah, it's going to be on the dark side. Oh, well, let's go and have a look.
Orbital flight engaged.
Or is it? No, it's in space. Apparently. Well, that's weird. That's definitely not on the surface. What's going on here? I'm closing on target, but check on the surface right underneath it. Okay, so that's a bit weird. So it looks like the locator thing is in exactly the wrong place. I'll go down that fast because okay, so directly below. But I'm not at the drop zone at the moment. Is it going to reset? Check the nav panel for a second POI. And now I've got one sort of behind me. Ooh, I can be put the night vision on because I can't see anything. Right, now where? Okay, now we're 110 kilometres away. That worked well. It'll take me 4 minutes to get there. Just talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, that's a bit annoying, isn't it? That's like distance from my house to, well, my old house to London. I can't.
Frame shift
Oh, I can
drive
frame shift
charging.
drive. It's just taking the frame shift. What's it doing up? It's very, very confusing indeed.
4, 3,
Because that's just too far to fly.
1. Engage.
Right. Well, let's just dive straight down again. Can't tell I'm over it. So that should be, and that drops beneath me there. It's going underneath me HUD now. 27 kilometers. Let's try and go down to see that. Thunk. Yeah, it's fine. We should be just above it, right? There we go. That worked. Ooh, look at this. So this is a crashed. Oh, this is very sad. A crashed Imperial. Beauty of a ship. Surprised it. Any debris would survive. Fall that large. Imperial ships never look better when they're just burnt out husks. Oh, cruel. Whilst I do like the Imperial ships, I do find the design of this one a bit odd. There's not much left of it, is there? Nothing like vision. It's just, like I say, bits of debris. Oh, so no, this is, like I say, this is a settlement, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, that's a settlement. That's not a crash ship. Where's the? Okay, so you can get voice logs with the data link scanner. Okay. So that's the abandoned. Yeah. Okay. I'll just get a little look around here. Maybe not.
Landing gear deployed.
Landing. Right. Unsuitable terrain. Look unsuitable. It's pretty darn flat to me. Land here. There we go. There's a small spotette there. Not suitable. Right again. There we go. I do when it does that. It's like, alarm okay, alarm okay, alarm okay. Nope, it's not. There we go, finally got down. Right, shall I use SRB 1 or SRB 2? Let's use SRB 2 today. Oh, that's the Scorpion. No, I don't want the Scorpion, do I? Nutrimancer, hello, good to see you. Yep.
Low gravity warning.
I've just realised I've used totally the wrong SRV. Let's go and get the other one. So let's just do a little all around in the SRV. I haven't used an SRV for ages. Oh, you can use the Scorpion. Okay, well, I'm more familiar driving the little wiggy.
Low gravity warning.
Let's go and have a little peek. So this looks all very familiar, doesn't it? So, how do we pick up? Logs. This, to my mind, is always something you want to do on foot, really. I can see a few people driving around. Go wreck some stuff. Where are the logs then? So there are 5 logs here. Crystal shards. What are those? Those are mine. Hey. Sure that should be banned. Looks as desolate as Basildon on a Tuesday night. I've actually been to Basildon on a Tuesday night, and you're not wrong. We'll have up some bits of equipment while I'm here. What else is left of lying about? Oh, I like the Christmassy, wintry decorations on the ship there. It's my ship. Yeah, so I don't know. Can you scan these things with on foot? I don't know if you can. No, you can't. That's a shame, isn't it? So the integration between Odyssey and some of the other stuff. There we go. There's a comms uplink. There we go. Data point active. Pointing up there. Yes, yes, yes. So I don't have to. Okay. There we go. Let's pick up one of these. Discovered logs. There we go. Found 4 or 5.
Project Seraph, log 42. Professor Kaylee Oren reporting. Less than an hour ago, a Black Flight squadron was intercepted by Thargoids. 7 Black Flight ships were en route from Research Site Bronze to Fort Asch. They picked up an unrecognized signal source and were ordered to investigate. What little telemetry we have shows the ships were attacked soon after dropping from super...
Okay, so I need to pick up all 4 of them. 5 of them rather. Right, so where are they? Because they're not easy to find, these things. I find this one of the most frustrating parts about this is... Oh, there's one there. One. Oh, they can be found in the context spell. Ah, well, that's the way to do it then, isn't it? Is it navigation? No, context. That's one. That's the next one, is it? Not the one I just got. Pretty sure that's the one I've already scanned. Yeah, that one's the one I already had. Okay, so that one behind me was another one. There. Okay, that gives us that one. Right, so I can't... I didn't see two there though. I assume I'm not in range of the others. Central area with night vision. Okay. That's the trick. So this is the central area, is back this way. There's another one there. That one's behind me. Is that not what I've already got? Maybe that's one I haven't got over there. No, see, that's the one I already have got. It leaves me around in circles. Irritating thing. Oh, there's the other one. Oh, there's another one. Okay. Anyway, I see them now. That should be 4, I think. Where is the other one? Some dudes walking around on feet. Not to run them down. Where's the last one? It would show me on here which ones I've already done. Is that one I know about? I think that one. How many have I got? Let's go with lots. 2. Oh, apparently I've only done 3 yet. So I've got 2 more to find somewhere. Let's have a look around here. Seeing it down there. Let's go around the outside of this. It's still quite hard work finding these things. I think. Really, come on, just let me download everything. Why the inhabitants would go to the trouble of splitting their logs into 5 different places? It reminds me of that red dwarf thing. Why did he go to the bother of using his kidney as a full stop? I don't think he meant to do that, sir. I think it just plopped out. So that's what I've done, isn't it? Yeah, that's what I've done. So where are the other ones? I'm missing 2 thus far. It's not what they look like now. I never find these things easy to find at all. Have I got to go further afield, or? I don't see anything that looks like a scanner. And that says data point active, but where is that? Nordlander's got to go. Thank you, Nordlander. Where are these things? So this is... doesn't make a great deal of logical sense why you split these things. I know it's gameplay, it gives you something to do, but just annoying. Just give me the logs. I'm going to go a bit further afield in case we're over here. MBTLB's got to go as well. Let's look at all in the central bit. Okay, so why can't I find them then? I thought I was being fairly systematic there. This one I've done. Yeah, see that one I've already done. So if I kind of follow this perimeter around, I'd expect to see some of the others. Right, from where Techeron is, where is Techeron? Hang on a minute, I've got some red lights on my... some badly behaved people. Right, I'm heading towards you, Techeron. Oh, it's command Cyberdan, it's done something dodge. Okay, so... oh, so you can scan all 5 of them here, so where... right, okay, that's good to know. Right, so there's one immediately over there, there must be one I haven't got yet. Let's get that one. No, that one I've probably got. Please give me one I haven't got. Right, where's that one? That one's up over there. Okay, so I definitely haven't been up over there. So they are quite spaced out. If I get through there, there's one just there actually. Maybe this is 4 and 5. Huzzah! One I haven't got before. There was another one. Just here, I think. There it is. Found it. At least then we can have a listen. That's not hard work. Right, that should be it. Right, let's have a listen then. Discovered logs. No. That's why this game is fun and really frustrating in the same thing. Oh, there's one. Oh, did I scan a ship and not a comms panel? Oops. There's one just there, which I don't think I've got. Really awkward to get to as well. Open that one there. Right, can somebody tell me what's getting on? Well, I'm trying to scan a series of... yay! Logs! That's just like hard work. And I managed to scan them all. This now will tell us the story of Fort Asch. So here we go.
Project Seraph, log 34. Professor Kaylee Oren reporting. Following Professor Dawn's reassignment, I'm responsible for logging the next phase of Project Seraph. The primary objective is acquiring a new Thargoid vessel. Our human pilot integration tests aren't going to achieve much without one. The staging facility in
They're actually trying to acquire a Thargoid vessel.
is up and running. Black flight ships are patrolling in anticipation of non-human activity. Ground teams are examining the system's 2 Thargoid surface sites in the hope of attracting a Thargoid vessel. According to Captain Stenson, our operation is textbook. I'm not convinced the captain could read a textbook, but I'll take him at his word. The
Excellent.
permit check is still active in this system's nav beacon. I have to say, the considerable investment in securing that permit is impressive. Pass my thanks on to the relevant donors. Initial system scans aren't showing much promise. If the Thargoids are still interested in this system, they haven't left any recent evidence. Reports of strange encounters in the Pleiades sector have increased, though. Multiple pilots have claimed they were pulled out of hyperspace by an alien craft. As you know, this tactic was common during the First Thargoid War. I hope you understand we're potentially acting as bait out here. Assuming the surface sites are in an ancient Thargoid territory, then our ground teams are trespassing. We don't yet know how they'll be received. This risk has been calculated into your plans, I assume. I'll report again in a few days.
Nice. Okay. I've managed to get my ship totally wedged here. I'm just going to sit back and figure a way to get back out again. Because it's... Oh, yeah, there's one of those... Like a... I mean, well, who put the wretched comms log in such a stupid location? Oh, I managed to glitch past that. Oh, I know. Okay. There we go. Managed to unglitch myself, I think. And go forward, go backwards. Yay! There we go, I'm out. Goodness for external camera. Right. So, okay. So that was quite interesting. So they were trying to entice a Thargoid ship down so they could do some human integration with it. Very dodge. They're all going to end in tears, I'm sure.
Project Seraph, Log 37. Professor Kaylee Oren reporting. Still no Thargoid vessel. The surface sites are providing valuable data on Thargoid architecture and construction methods. I've requested a sweep for evidence of mycoid activity on these relics. I'm sure we'll find a use for the ground team's analysis either way. Dr. Granmore has provided a very long essay on his team's findings at
I like this
Research
girl.
Site
She's very
Amber,
sarky.
which I sent on your preferred channel. You should get comfortable before reading it. A cup of coffee or several would be smart too. As I said, very long essay. One interesting development relates to the disappearance of subject D2. Our security team found several unauthorized messages which have piggybacked along our encryption network. The datapad that sent these messages belonged to Dr. Edmund Pierce. Evidently, he is not as good with technology as he is with bioengineering, so it was simply a matter of time until we noticed. Decoding these messages revealed Pierce has assisted D2's escape from the Oaken Point Infirmary.
Okay.
Pierce confessed and is now incarcerated.
Oh,
When the interrogation is complete, he'll be executed.
nice
There
frontier
was
justice.
talk of making this a public event, but Pierce is popular with his colleagues. I'll announce the transgression
Okay.
and punishment after the fact. Better to let the traitor's deed speak for him. D2's whereabouts remain unknown. Pierce's messages at least confirm she was placed on Commander Heifet's ship without his knowledge. Heifet's elimination shouldn't affect our flow of test subjects. Until next time, say hi to Dawn for me.
Nice people. Very nice people. When the interrogation is complete, he'll be executed. Okay. And there was talk of making this a public event. So, interesting enough, I always find this amusing. As a cyber person, actually in real life, and having to understand how encryption works. Encryption is one of those things that's always used wrong in everything. It's like our security team, good old security team, found several unauthorized messages which had been piggybacked along our encryption network. That is a statement. That is a phrase that means absolutely nothing whatsoever. It's amazing what encryption can do. I mean, you can piggyback encrypted message into encryption. Um, and if you need to decrypt encryption, it's usually just a case of concentrating really, really hard for a little while, and then the decryption will happen. Encryption's like that. No, it's not. It's not how encryption works. Dear. Never mind. It's all good fun. Right. Let's see if they kill him or whatever they're going to do.
Project Seraph, Log 39. Professor Kaylee Oren reporting.
Ooh.
One of our trade ships has encountered a possible Thargoid vessel. The trader jumped into HIP 22460 with a delivery for research site bronze when it was yanked out of hyperspace. The
Nice.
pilot claims his modules were temporarily shut down. An alien vessel, much larger than the one held at Oaken Point, swept the trade ship with a visible energy wave before departing through a rift in space. The tactics, visual description, and residual wake readings all indicate a Thargoid craft. The trade ship carried one of the artifacts recovered from the Pleiades region for Dr. Granmore's work. Maybe it attracted the alien vessel. If it is of Thargoid origin, it would confirm they're still interested in this system. Perhaps this whole region. If we can somehow draw the ship back into regular space. Oh, surely Captain Sensen has a plan to disable it. I don't know what to make of the encounter. Thargoids have always been aggressive towards humans. Why intercept the trade ship only to leave it intact? Was it gathering information? Attempting to communicate in some way? The potential answers make me a little uneasy. At least violence would be typical behavior, predictable even. But this report suggests an adaptation of sorts, the kind ordered by further up the chain. But at least we know they're watching. I'll outline some theories on how to initiate a repeat encounter.
A bit of a misinformation going on there as well about the Thargoids. That's interesting.
Project Seraph, Log 42. Professor Kaylee Oren reporting. Less than an hour ago, a Black Flight squadron was intercepted by Thargoids. 7 Black Flight ships were en route from Research Site Bronze to Fort Asch. They picked up an unrecognized signal source and were ordered to investigate. What little telemetry we have shows the ships were attacked soon after dropping from supercruise. At least 3 Thargoid vessels were involved. The skirmish, if what happened even qualifies as one, lasted less than 2 minutes. By the time reinforcements arrived, there was nothing but debris left. The Thargoids had departed. There were no survivors. Professor Dawn always sounds so confident when he talks about our study of Thargoid technology. Our dominance over the aliens seems certain when he discusses Project Seraph. I'm fascinated to know what he makes of this.
Pride cometh before a fall, I feel.
Project Seraph, Log 51. Professor Kaylee Oren reporting. This will probably be the final log for Project Seraph. I don't see much point in continuing after the withdrawal. I know. The witch gave the order. That attack on the federal convoy is going to draw the superpowers' attention to the Pleiades, and the Thargoid presence is growing stronger each day. We can't risk exposure, so we're pulling out and taking our research with us. I get it. It's just frustrating. I was so sure we were making a difference here. The first human-piloted Thargoid ship will be a huge step in our technological evolution. We were getting closer with each test, and then it just stopped. All the momentum we'd enjoyed ebbed away. People trained to work with hard data have resorted to chasing ghosts. The objective was to find a new Thargoid vessel. As though it were just a matter of time. I guess you could say they found us instead. I'll arrange transport for the remaining test subjects. We have a few locations which could house them for a while. If the Thargoids really are back, then there should be an opportunity to obtain another vessel. Eventually. Assuming they don't wipe us out first, of course. I'll be at Azimuth headquarters for a full debrief within 48 hours.
Nice. They're good audio logs, aren't they? They add so much to the game. I've always liked them. Am I under the right ship? I was. Oh, there we go. Yes, I was. Got parked in the right place. There we go. I think some of them they used to contract them out to different people, but they had a sort of list of voice actors that they used. But
Cargo scoop.
I don't know if they still do that or not. But they are good. They've got some good emotional cadence in them. I think they're really really good. So yeah, so they as we know, INRO was experimenting on doing all sorts of nefarious things, trying to find out what they could do with Thargoids. But so in this case, INRO was found out, and then we all know what happened next, of course. So all quite exciting. It's nice that they've done it like that, though, so you can actually go and investigate things and encourage people to learn. I wonder how many people actually end up listening to these logs, though, because they are quite tricky to find. Yeah, we'll have to expose more of them. I think when we do a revised lore tour, because a lot of these weren't around back then. We'll have to go through them again. Vito says my wife is a performing arts and vocal coach for speaking and singing. She said that they are quite skilled. So that's an endorsement. That's good. Yeah. Are these ones? Yeah, these ones. Actually, no. These ones they are pre the current Thargoid war, aren't they? Yeah, because they're INRA logs. That's right. Yeah. No, you're right. Wintermute should be. They have been around for a while. So yes, they are good. They are good. Hunter needs to put you on staff as a staff historian. Well, to be honest, there's so much stuff in Elite Dangerous now. I think I could probably give them a bit of a framework, but there's so much stuff. I mean, it's hard keeping track of it. To be honest, in order to do another lore tour, I'm going to have to spend some time doing some research so that I know where everything is, because there is literally so much stuff, and I probably haven't listened to all of it either. The megaship logs, the Formidine Rift logs, those ones are wrote, but I know those ones. But all of these settlement logs, and there's so many stories in there, which is good. And there's plenty of stuff to cover, but there are lots of bits and pieces in there. So yeah, it's all good. And do another book for colonisation. Well, you never know. The space dredgers, yes, I covered a lot of those in the lore. But they are very good. They are very good. Right. It's 8 minutes past. But we should. Where's the nearest megaship? We should go somewhere for a beer, shouldn't we? Or at least to the bar. Is there a fleet carrier? There's the Bright Sentinel. Will any of those have a fleet carrier here? Is there? Let's have a look on the system map. Are there any fleet carriers about? There's a megaship, but I don't know if that will have a bar. Does it have anywhere we can hang out? There's nowhere to dock at all. It's all just ruins. Ruins. Well, given that it's already 8 minutes past, we might have to call it out there, I'm afraid, as I've got to get some sleep. But it's been fun. We'll do some more of this, and we are near. We could go. Yeah, okay. Let's go and visit Obsidian. And it's not very far away, is it? You're quite right. Let's go there. I haven't been there for a little while. How far away is it? Okay, so it's 2 jumps. Let's do that. Everybody over to Obsidian Ants hangout. Go there. We'll have a quick moosey around the bar. And then we must find one thing I didn't do last week. We must find somebody to raid right at the end of the stream. We didn't do that last time. So yeah, we should definitely do that.
4, 3, 2,
What I used to like to do is try and find the lowest, the elite streamer who's currently online with the lowest number of viewers stroke followers, so we can give them a nice boost. So have a look. No plans, another half an hour. We'll quickly get to Obsidian. So yeah, see for those of you who are looking online and can look at Twitch, see if you can find the elite dangerous streamer who is lowest on the list and could do with the boost. That's what I like to do. Boost or a heart attack, yeah.
fuel scooping.
Either way.
complete. Frameshift drive charging.
Okay, so we got Stathy +1. Okay, never heard of them. I've got to remember how to do a raid. Actually, I've forgotten. Was it /raid space username, something like that?
4, 3, 2,
Was it ! raid? I can't remember. Been too long. All these things. I forgot. You somebody on the stream will know. So yeah, so I will start working on a Elite Dangerous lore tour and announce when I can get that up and running for you guys. Right, let's go to Obsidian Orbital. Where is it? Maya Black Hole. No, we don't want to go there. It's always easier just to look at them. Where are you, Obsidian ants? There we are. I've been here for a while, actually. Just hang out in the bar at Obsidian Orbital. Okay, so it's /raid/username. Okay, so the name is just Stathy. Okay, well, we'll raid Stathy in a moment. Who are they, by the way? Know the name. It's nice to give the smaller streamers some nice boost though, because it's hard to start Twitch streaming actually. Very, very hard to start. Once you've got a few people who know you're there and you've got some regulars and stuff, it's that much straightforward. But getting started on these things is really tricky. So it's nice to try and just give them a little bit of encouragement. So we'll do that in a moment. Once we've just not had a beer in the bar. I've not seen their stream, but I see them a lot in other streams as a viewer. Okay, cool. That's good. Oh, Cybernom has been interdicted. I haven't had any interdictions. I quite like the interdictions, but they don't want to be on the stream. Thargoids, they're a bit nervous. I understand why, can you? I might write some narrative at them. I've always decided I'm going to poke some fun at Galnet News Digest at some point. Serious AM's got to go as well. Take care, my friend. Be good. Have yourself a great evening or morning, wherever it is you are. And this circular planet. Right, so /raid space. Right, I need to remember Stathy. Okay. I should do that. Right, here we are.
UJC Delta Romeo Echo. Please comply with flight regulations as you approach the station, Commander. Access granted. Prep for arrival on landing pad 07.
07. I am honoured. Nice. Somebody's shooting somebody somewhere.
Scan detected.
I was going to say, where's Obsidian Ant's voice?
Landing gear deployed.
Is that when we land? God, that works. We should get his voice. I thought it was on the. I sort of remember it was on the docking grid, but maybe it's not. Is it just when we land? Pad 07, that's pretty good, isn't it? Obviously knew I was coming.
Landing complete. Docking restraints engaged.
Oh, his voice is in the background. Okay. Oh yeah, you can hear it. There we are. Well, at least it sounds. Pretty sure it sounded like Obsidian. Very, very subtle in the background there. If you stay on the pad long enough, I thought I heard something there that sounded like him. Right. Okay. Everyone to the bar. But we can't have a beer. Still, but hey. There it is. Excellent. That's a nice touch, isn't it? Have your voice immortalized in the game like that. That's pretty cool. Doesn't keep his station very clean though. Should have words with him about that. Hey, there we go. Commander Aussie as well. And Dead Star Omega. Excellent. Right, to the bar, my friends. Let's go. It's quite a nice space station. It's got a nice purpley vibe, isn't it?
Hey, Commander. What can I get for you?
Well, I'd like a beer, but you're not going to give me one of those. So. There we go. Nicely done. Right, that's good. Right, let's go and do that. I'll go and do the raid. But thank you ever so much for your company tonight, my friends. Be good. Have a fantastic week ahead. We'll be back next week. We might do some exploration next week, I feel. Yeah, we'll do something along those lines and start having thinks and prep for Lore Tours and stuff. I think that's going to be good. So yeah, so next Monday, hopefully a bit of stars, maybe some starships from later, because I've got to wait. I think I've been advised to wait until the latest version of Star Citizen gets pushed into the mainstream. So we'll see what that's looking like. But there'll be some space stuff happening on Monday, one way or the other. We'll see how it goes. Right, take care, my friends. Thank you very much. Stay around so I can go and raid Stathy, and then I'll see you on Monday. See you on Wednesday for more Elite Dangerous. Take care, my friends. Be good. See you soon.